Though it would not remain undiscovered, the concealment would buy precious time, as would the need for axes to smash the trapdoor itself. Pearce spoke softly in French, addressing the girl. "You are abandoning your house and everything you possess?" "What do you suggest they do?" was the querulous inquiry in English from his companion. "Hand us over?" Their still unnamed host might not speak the language, but having understood Pearce's sentiment, he obviously got the sense of what Oliphant was saying in response. His rejoinder in his own tongue brusque. "We must move quickly. There is no time to explain matters." That said, he was off, servant and lantern to the fore, his daughter at his heels, Pearce and Oliphant following like them at a crouch. The tunnel, which had several tight turns to both left and right, was low and narrow. The old man stopped for a moment, raising a hand to check on something. Coming closer, Pearce picked out a rope basket full of rocks set into the tunnel roof. The pause was brief and progress resumed, only for their elderly guide, 24 paces on, to stop once more and let loose a rope from a cleat set in the wall. The sound was unmistakable. Rocks tumbling down, Pearce assumed, to shut off the passageway. His supposition soon confirmed as a cloud of dust began to fill the air. A man of few expressions outside concern, in the small circle of light from the oil lamp, their host now looked positively smug, which had Pearce reckoned the stratagem had been his idea. Those in pursuit would find the tunnel blocked in such a way as to make the clearing of it, if it could be done at all, a job of several hours. In minutes they were at a junction by the base of a second set of steps, the narrow passageway going on into darkness, the servant reaching up to unbolt a second heavy trapdoor. Fully opened, it fell back with a crash, the tunnel filling with light, and again Pearce examined Eugénie's expression. She still appeared calm, as though what they were about was an everyday occurrence. Was that indeed the case? For she and her father lived in a febrile world, made doubly dangerous by their obvious opposition to the ruling revolutionary regime. Climbing brought all five into an open space, once a substantial dwelling of several stories. Now it was charred walls, collapsed floor and roof timbers, above it an open grey sky, giving it an appearance of having been burnt down some time past. They were admonished to wait while father and servant disappeared, leaving his daughter to usher them into the half-remains of a room. There, for the first time, both men could seek to make some sense of what had just happened. The conclusion was obvious, if unwelcome. Their escape from Paris had obviously been engineered for this very purpose, using them to expose a chain of opposition to the rule of the Jacobins. Looking back, everything that had happened previously and now appeared part of that ruse. The effortless departure from the temple, the famous and ancient Paris building which had served as their prison, followed by the smooth way each part of the journey down the River Seine had been facilitated. Then came the provision of those horses, now abandoned, the military uniforms into which they could change, and finally a laissez-passer signed and bearing the seal of Lazare Carnot. A powerful member of the ruling clique in the convention, he was the de facto Minister of War. No one would dare to question that permission to travel north towards a zone of recent conflict for a pair of cavalry officers. Thus their passage to the port of Gravelines had been unhindered. Pearce felt like a chump, and said so. "Humbugged." "By clever people, Pearce," was Oliphant's reply. "If you cannot love them, at least admire them." Using lumps of debris and a bulk of timber, Oliphant began to construct a seat on which they could rest. Then he looked pointedly at the girl. "But it seems we are in the care of folk of equal if not superior wit. That escape route and the blocking of it was near to genius." "What a price they are paying." Reverting to French and addressing Eugénie directly, Pearce made the same point he had made on entry to the tunnel, apologizing too, which got from her a knowing smile. Shy, and up till the present not one for many words, now was an exception. "The house was not ours, monsieur. It was the property of an early victim of the terror, a fine, upstanding man, a physician."